So one of the issues our elected officials are talking about, and people really across the entire state, and this is one that impacts the whole state, is affordable housing. I know all of you have been looking at this issue and are giving some good policy advice. Maura, please frame this for us. What kind of deal is this really for the state? How is it impacting us?
This is critical. I mean, this is going to really set a generation or two up for success or failure. And what's great about Utah is we're on a high trajectory for growth. We have a healthy economy. We have comparison models around us in Colorado and Arizona about what good growth is and what housing is. This issue is fascinating. I'm really pleased the legislature is dealing with it because a lot of the solutions are going to come from local jurisdictions. So there's respect between the municipality and the state. Government needs to really exist as we talk about discussions. And it's really going to challenge our not in our backyard. It's going to challenge what affordable housing is and affordable housing as opposed to low-income housing. We're going to all have to pay more attention to the words we use, and we're going to have to start looking at what I believe are healthy economies or diverse economies. And you have different kinds of homes and different kinds of families and different kinds of socioeconomic conditions that exist. But those can become challenging to have a practical discussion about.
For sure. Frank, what she says, right. Every single time we start talking about affordable housing, this is the issue. I love it somewhere, but I want it somewhere else.
Oh, that's why I laughed. Because not my backyard. The politics of this is fascinating because we saw it play out in some of these local initiatives, like when the Conwood Mall project. So you have developers.
That wasn't even affordable housing.
Yes.
No, well, they had mixed housing, but it was dense.
Very little affordable.
But it was dense. It was viewed as being dense, and so you had this grassroots against this. The politics is fascinating because you have home builders. They're in the legislature that are frustrated by what they see with the cities pushing back, and so you have this coalition of home builders, environmentalists, kind of the urban planners like Maura and others, and the media saying we need more denser housing and the business community. But then you have residents and their cities saying, no, we're worried about traffic. Both sides are right. It makes for fascinating politics because it's realigned what your usual political alignments have been. So this is a battle to be played out this next session, probably the next couple of sessions, because everyone's been saying is right, and a lot of people say, I don't want to live next door to 1,200 units or whatever. But so that you're going to see the legislature grapple with that.
And Frank pointed out well sort of the markers that we're looking to now. And we got to bust that apart, that affordable housing does not just mean dense boxed housing.
Right.
The other voice that's great in this, there are two voices that I hope converge and are really loud. And one of them, and they're after the same things. One of them is millennials who say, I have a different relationship to my home. I have a different relationship to my lawn. I have a different relationship to where I'm going to spend my money. So they're looking at affordable housing being, they have incomes, but they want them in certain neighborhoods. And some of the neighborhoods have a quarter acre and Kentucky bluegrass right now. So some of it is a socioeconomic argument. Some of it is an urbanization lifestyle change. And the other, I said two groups. One are the millennials. The other group that is having the same relationship with their home are retiring people who say, wow, I grew up in Sandy. I love Sandy, but I want to sell my 5-room house and I want to move into something else. And that's showing up at the city council as a density project. So there's some voices to bring in.
I want to change it a little bit. Instead of saying affordable housing, housing affordability, which is becoming a larger issue, I believe, because businesses here, there are thousands of jobs that are going unfilled right now because we don't have enough people. Well, these businesses want people, but they need to be able to come here and afford the houses that they can that the salaries pay for. And if you're a young person, right now, buying a home may not be your best alternative. Renting is a little cheaper now. However, rents are still pretty high, and if you don't make a certain level of income, it makes it particularly difficult for you if you have a family. So some way, somehow, and the Salt Lake Chamber is kind of leading out on this, putting together a housing gap coalition to figure out a way to make it so that families of all stripes and all socioeconomic strata can afford a decent place to live and where they'll feel safe and have the amenities they need to have a quality of life.
And our culture will be really impacted for the negative if we create invisible fences and only have like people living in places. That really does lose the texture of America and the greatness of America. So I think this notion of diversity of place really speaks to something that's quintessentially American, and I hope we can move towards that.
That's a great point. We're going to watch this one closely in this session. You've identified some the exact points we should be looking at as our legislators discuss it. Thank you.